Hello, welcome to another video from EarnPed.com. I am Stevie B, happy to have you all with me today. I am actually here at Twin Peaks on planet Calypso. So let's take a couple of sips to get this video started off right, and we will get right to it. Got a whole pot of coffee ready to go just for this. I'm going to try and record a couple of videos this morning, so wish me luck, guys. So today, I wanted to talk to you guys about something that new players or recently new players will not really be too familiar with, but this video is more important for those of you who might be coming back to the game after a long time. If we go to view information here, we're talking about these babies. If I can get it to pop up. These little... They look like blazer fragments, but they're gold. I don't know why it doesn't actually seem to have an item. There we go. These babies right here. Now, I've actually seen these just hanging out in people's apartments before. And a lot of people, like I said, if you're new to the game or if you weren't around in the old days, you might not be familiar with them. But these are stamina tokens. And if you notice, I've got some green ones here. These are agility tokens. And then I've got some kind of brownish black ones over here. These are strength tokens. So these are attribute tokens. Now they also make psyche tokens. I don't have any of those. But these are from way back in the day. These aren't going to be something that you're going to be super familiar with if you're just starting in 2023. In fact, you might not have ever seen these before unless you were going in somebody's apartment and they just randomly had them hanging out as decoration. These might look very odd, very foreign to you. So I want to talk a little bit about them. So nowadays, in 2023 and moving forward, we have Codex. And this is our mission system for the game, more or less. Most of you are fairly well familiar with this. As we go through killing a creature, we go through the Codex ranks. After we get through 25 ranks, we get to where we can just start repeating them infinitely. And just repeat, repeat, repeat. We've made entire videos about that. And then over here, we have Meta Codex, where every time we get through 5 regular Codex ranks, we get a Meta Codex rank, and that allows us to get a attribute reward. So attributes are intelligence, psyche, strength, stamina, and agility, and they don't skill the same way other skills do. In fact, if we go to our skills, if we hit K, and we go to attributes, we can see that attributes are very, very, very low. So I've only got 92 agility, 93 intelligence, only 57 psyche, 50 stamina, 54 strength, and then it also has health in here. Health really isn't an attribute. Health is more of a measure of attributes plus skills, but it is under the attributes tab. So everybody always counts health as an attribute. I don't, because it's a measure of skills plus attributes, but it is under the attributes tabs. But the attributes are agility, intelligence, psyche, stamina, and strength, all of which used to have an associated attribute token. Now, back in the day, you could get these attribute tokens, like I have, from mission rewards. Usually, it was at the very, very end of a mission chain, and usually you would get what was the equivalent of 100 attribute tokens the vast majority of the time. The screwy part is there were missions that would give out like 85 attribute tokens as a reward, or like 75. But most of them gave out 100, but there were some really screwy ones out there. And what you would do is you would bring them to this attribute token trader, and you would tell her which one you wanted, and then you would redeem them to grow your attributes. So this was all pre-Codex. This was under the old mission system. And if you notice, it looks nothing like Codex, but if we open the old school mission system, you'll notice that it does look quite a bit like the old school mission system. Interesting, right? That's because these went hand in hand. So back when we used to have old iron missions, you could get all the way through, and a lot of times at the end, that's where you would get these. In fact, if you used to do the old shub chain on Monria, the very last part of the shub chain was the part 5. It was kill 10,000 shub, and it was repeatable. It was one of the very few repeatable missions that we had back in the day. And the reward was either 100 psyche tokens plus evade of like 15 ped, or 100 agility tokens and dodge of 15 ped, or 100 intelligence tokens and support weapon systems of 15 ped, or you could have just gotten an invade thing. So you could have either picked Psyche, Agility, or Intelligence back in the day if you were just doing shub over and over and over every time you killed 10,000 shub. So you would get the tokens, you would bring them here, and then you would bada bing, bada boom, redeem. So as you can see, I have redeemed 2 of my stamina tokens, but if you notice, I didn't get a full point. I got 1/100th of a point. Why is that? Well, if you remember, I said earlier that there used to be some really screwy missions back in the day, and back in the day, those screwy missions would give out less than 100, so it was less than a full point. And because of that, whenever they redid the system, they realized that people were still going to have these attribute tokens laying around. They realized that they had to make a way that we could deal with them if we had less than 100. So they changed it where now you can either put 100 in and get a full point, or you can put in 1/100th of a time. So if I pick stamina, notice it says how many tokens do you want to trade. 1 increases the attribute by 0.01, so 1/100th of a point. Or if you did have 100 from one of the missions that did used to give out the even 100 number, then 100 would increase your attribute by 1 point. So believe it or not, I used to have a stack of like, I think 80 of these things, and I had to go through one at a time 80 times over and over and over and over and over just to get that 0.01, because you can only pick one of these two. If you have got less than 100, you've just got to do it one at a time. There's no other way. So I've already gone ahead and done 2 of them, and because it's stamina, I'm going to go ahead and finish it off. That's why I wanted to catch it here on the screen for you, because I'm probably not going to get a chance to do this again for a very long time. So I'm going to put my stamina token in. I'll pull this up so you guys can see here. And I'm going to redeem. Bam! Got 1/100th of a stamina. And then I'm going to repeat. And so on. And another 1/100th of a stamina. And then we're going to do it one last time because I only had 5 of them. And good to go. Bam! So by turning in all 5, the 3 that you just saw plus the 2 I did before the video, I got 5/100ths of a stamina point. Now I know that doesn't seem like a lot, but stamina has a huge, huge, huge impact on your HP. And the reason I'm mentioning this now is even though this isn't something we're likely to see again, people do tend to come back to the game after 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years away. I talked to a guy the other day. He came back. He'd been gone for over a decade. So he's going to be very familiar with these kind of tokens. He's not going to be familiar with Codex. And a lot of times after that long away, you forget what you have laying around in storage and what a lot of stuff does. So I want to put this video out there mainly for the returning players who may run across them in their storage and be like, what in the heck are these for and what do they do? Now, if you notice, I haven't turned in my strength, nor have I turned in my agility tokens, even though I've got 170 agility tokens. Reason being is if we go back to our attributes, stamina is the only one that does not skill naturally. I can naturally skill agility just through hunting. I can naturally skill intelligence, psyche, and strength. Strength mainly through melee, psyche mainly through mind force, and intelligence through different things like crafting and vehicle repair, stuff like that. And they skill exceedingly, exceedingly slow. So the reason I went ahead and did the stamina ones is stamina does not skill naturally. There's no other way to get it. It's got to be either stamina tokens like we just did or Codex rewards. There is no other option. But my other ones do skill naturally. And they skill so slowly that once you get to a certain level, it's like pulling teeth to get it to move at all. If you notice, 6 years in, I haven't even broken 100 in a single attribute. And my plan for my agility tokens is if I can save them until right about 110, 115, maybe even 120, at that point it'll be worth go ahead and redeeming them for that 1.7 points of agility, because at that point getting any more agility at all to really move the needle at all is going to feel absolutely impossible. So is it going to make a huge, huge difference? No, but in a game where every little bit counts, they're not doing any harm sitting in storage at the moment, so I might as well just leave them sitting in storage, and then whenever the time does eventually come where I have pushed my agility and my strength far enough, I can redeem those extra tokens that I still have left there. So I wanted to get that video made while I had the opportunity, this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, because I'll probably never have the opportunity to redeem stamina tokens ever again. So I wanted to get it made now and put out there for you guys now, that way you guys could see it and we would have that information preserved for the future. So I'm going to leave it there. It's kind of a short video when talking about those types of tokens. Also, guys, be sure and go back through your old mission list. If you notice, I keep mine hotkeyed because this is where you find your daily challenges and stuff. You would be surprised. There are probably some returning players right now that have been gone for 2, 3, 4, 5 years or longer, that if they go through these old missions, they may well find that they're on the last level of an iron mission that they can actually complete, that the rest of us will never have the opportunity to get to because we can't unlock them anymore. And they may be able to get a whole lot of these different types of attribute tokens simply by finishing out some of the old missions that they were already started whenever the player left, and now they're just now returning. So if you're returning after a couple years, don't just automatically go to the new Codex system. Codex is great and all, but go back through your old missions and see if you are on any stages for your old iron missions that would allow you to grab some of those sweet, sweet attribute tokens while you can. So guys, I'll leave it there for today. I've got a lot more planned for you. I've got some stuff about migration coming up. I've got some stuff about Next Island and CRP coming up, and some stuff about Tulun, Cyrene, and Arcadia as well. So sip, sip, smack, smack. Y'all know the rest. Head over to earnped.com, because when you earn, we earn. That is by far the best way you guys can help support us. Simply use the link on earnped.com to go to hideout.tv. Hideout will see that you came from earnped and will automatically add us as a redemption option for your hideout points. Guys, if you would do us a huge favor, the favor every YouTuber asks you for, take the 1 second it takes. It's absolutely free. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell icon so you know when we post new content. You only have to do it one time, then you never, ever, ever have to do it again. And if you would, please take the second, because again, it is free, and every single video that we have, hit that like button. Somebody famous once said you will get 100 views before you get 100 likes, because not everybody watching you is out to help you and root for you. And that is very true. We have haters sitting around waiting to hit the dislike button, so we count on you guys to help us counteract that. Guys, when you do that, it doesn't just help us, it gives us more exposure for the channel, which is great for us, but it's also great for the game and great for the economy, because those are people who, they play RCE games, MMOs, PC-based gaming. And when YouTube gives us that exposure, a lot of times it's the first time they see Entropia, they hear about Entropia, they start watching the videos. Next thing you know, they're downloading the game, they're playing. They may end up being a society mate of yours. They might end up buying something off of you someday. And the only reason they'll be in the game is because you hit that button. So yes, it helps us, but it helps the game, the community, the economy, and it can help you too. So please take a moment to do it. Sip, sip, smack, smack. Y'all know the rest. Take care, Stevies. Bye, guys.